It is time for us to begin our northbound journey back to the United States. And for us, that means finding the most interesting route to travel on. We are just north of La Paz, so naturally we chose to drive one of the final sections of the 2023 Baja 1000 course. This would prove to be our most challenging route yet. We are joined again by our friends Chris and Lisa and plan to spend our next weekend nestled away in a favorite spot of ours to relax and recharge for the journey ahead.
You just having fun?
Yeah, well, I think if that doesn't prove that a two-wheel drive van can drive in the sand, I don't know what will.
Where are we camping, sir?
Well, I don't know, do one.
We spent a couple days here last winter with our friends Max and Rachel. On this very same beach, in this very same water, we were nearly swept out to sea by a rip current. As West Coasters, we are, of course, happy to see the Pacific Ocean, but we know to respect the power of this place.
Putting fruit in our sink?
Yeah.
I can't believe you.
This is my new storage compartment for fresh fruit.
Those look a little burned.
Thank you, sir.
I want to see your guys' reactions when you put them in your mouth.
Yeah, we need to get more of these.
That's like the subtle, oh shit, we've been missing out.
This is the last we'll see of Chris and Lisa for a while, and like many of our other road acquaintances and subsequent addition to our road family, we want to savor our last moments with these fellow travelers. We're not only on this side of the peninsula in search of interesting routes to travel, we're also in search of surf. And despite what you see me doing here, I am not going to be surfing today. That's right, I'm the dork with the boogie board.
Yeah.
I have for some time been anticipating trying out my new fins and bodyboard. However, I quickly learned that attempting to boogie board with fins and shallow surf is a real challenge. And the board I bought is perhaps made for a child? So I mostly just got pummeled by large waves and tripped over my fins. As the sun begins its descent, signaling the end of another day, we gather for a final meal with our friends. Empanadas give way to delicious barbacoa tacos by the fire, marking the end of a memorable chapter.
Do you have any idea that your woman could crank out frickin' empanadas?
I had no idea. Not a clue.
Wow. Just wow.
I mean, never for a second did I ever doubt you, though. I mean, look at you. Talented, beautiful, gifted.
Oh, thank you.
What other adjectives can I use?
So they're vegetarian empanadas with cheese, potato, black beans, corn. Yeah. How good's this?
Pretty good.
Fried.
Happy food, yes, you gotta replicate.
Do we need anything in terms of taco?
What are you guys making?
Cilantro.
A little barbacoa.
Definitely some
Barbacoa?
cilantro.
Oh, lordy.
Licking the sand, she's just gonna have a mouthful of crap.
Darn dog.
Wow, that would happen. No.
Would it be yours? Or mostly?
As they say, all good things come to an end. Our friends will linger here for the week and then progressively work their way back to the US. As we part ways with Chris and Lisa, we embark on a challenging journey neither of us expected. Purpose-built trucks sporting massive 40-inch tires, long travel suspension, and roaring 1,000 horsepower engines blasted through the desert from Ensenada all the way to La Paz using this very road only a few months ago, leaving this 2-track full of large whoops and exposed rock. Progress is slow as we bounce along with our comparatively tiny tires and suspension, our speed rarely getting above 20 kilometers per hour. Slowly we progress into this desolate and featureless desert along the Pacific. Knowing what we know now, I think I can honestly say that had we known what was coming, we may have chosen to get off this road as soon as we had the chance. But that's the way things go sometimes. You simply have to go to a place to find out. We like to think of ourselves as modern-day adventurers, or explorers if you will. Yes, there are those out there that are more extreme, go further, have explored more, but each time we go off the beaten track, we learn a little bit more about ourselves, strengthen our ability to do hard things, and expand our knowledge of the world. Mile by mile, we grow closer to those explorers that we look up to.
Well, this is something that I didn't expect. Well, we're obviously not equipped for mud, so there does seem to be a go-around, but it's really, really tight. So this is going to be interesting to see if we can actually drive this go-around. So basically, we gotta get this corner, go up through there.
It's hard to get a thorough understanding of a situation when, as an observer, you view that situation through a screen. I say this not to throw shade, but instead to place a higher level of importance on this moment. We've hit an obstacle that we can't go through, and at this point, we would rather not turn back. Me, with my considerable off-road experience, have seen far more difficult trail, but must keep in mind that this is our home when driving, and we are a long ways out for a tow truck or parts to get to us. It's paramount that I do not wreck anything.
That looked really scary on the front suspension.
Yeah, it's pretty,
Like, I felt like that's something that could break the van.
it's pretty tight, and I don't have any way of pulling the front end around.
And you can't back into the bush because it's a bank.
If you've watched my video about how to drive in the sand, you'll know about this shovel. this is another great reason to carry a large shovel with you.
Seeing if we can do some road maintenance here to fit. Oh boy!
And just like that, we're through and once again moving forward.
Well, that was totally awesome. Meg doesn't think so. I do. Definitely having the locker got us through that. There was enough flex there that, and enough articulation in that little like go round that if we had an open diff, we never would have made it through. And I could feel the locker just hooking up as soon as it dropped that back tire, and we just managed to squeeze through. So that was awesome. It was like a little bit of off, like actual off-roading, and yeah, that was great.
Exhilarating.
Exhilarating indeed.
We even had the Mexicans cheering us on.
Yeah, that was funny. I'm not sure if it's just I hit a rock with the diff.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, it's pretty loud going over big rocks like this. No? It's a heck of a lot less menacing on camera.
So I think at the top of this ridge it just flattens out and then it should be fine to go.
The tail end of our route for the day took us along one of the many laser straight roads through the deserts of Baja. The trail traverses a vast, flat, and brutal section of desert with little else to look at other than cactus and rocks. In many sections, the van sunk so far into the ruts left by the trophy trucks that the rear differential would drag. If I attempted to ride outside the ruts, the local flora would immediately start battering the side of the van, trying to get in.
So we have chosen this route in lieu of the road that we were on previously because it's considerably smoother, but as you can see, the foliage is starting to close in on this road, and we're really putting our Raptor liner to work. This is kind of like a Baja car wash, except it's just scraping off all the dust. Hopefully this is over soon. We've still got a long ways to go to get to the coast. So we may have just hit a cactus while driving down the road, and
It's penetrated my arm.
yeah, it's got Meg's arm.
Ah! Fucking shit! Excuse my language! Ow! Now I have all these little spikes in me.
Oh, little guys.
They
Oh,
Finally, after hours of traversing the unforgiving desert, the sight of the Pacific Ocean on the horizon brings us tremendous relief. We're exhausted but elated to have made it through. It seemed like forever since we'd seen any kind of green, and the sight of the mangroves was a very welcome sight. Beaten down and exhausted, we finally rolled into our camp spot for the night. The next morning, we opt for smoother pavement for both our frayed nerves and the well-being of our van suspension as we continue our northward journey. If I am to reflect on how I feel about this time on the road, I would say that I am proud of Meg and I. I'm proud of Meg for handling the rough and jarring routes and grateful for her patience, care, and support. I'm proud of myself for continuing to step out of my comfort zone to accomplish difficult and challenging things. It would have been far easier taking the highway, but instead, we took this route, we tested our mettle, and inched ourselves closer to becoming the world travelers I hope we'll become.
Well, yesterday was one heck of a challenge. We finished the day totally exhausted and a little bit rattled from the road. It was definitely a stressful drive, seeing as we are out as remote as we were, and the road just turned out to be way more difficult than we had anticipated. And so we wound up at a place called Puerto Datil, I think it's called, on the Pacific coast yesterday, and left there this morning. Drove back to the highway, went to San Carlos, got some lunch, and then wound up here, which is north of Insurgentes, I think. And we're gonna stay here the next 2 days and just enjoy a little bit of relaxing time. Hopefully the weather cooperates for us, and yeah, I think then we'll be on to our new section of travel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate all of you that choose to watch our adventures and comment on our videos and like them and all that stuff. We really appreciate you guys doing that for us. Yeah, I guess until the next one, keep on roaming. Peace.